Hello, good morning. Another one of my thoughts. Okay, Sandy Moth. Sandy Moth asked me, he said, Brian, what are your thoughts on Brexit? Especially stockpiling of meds and foods, etc. I think there's a lot of scaremongering. Let's go last thing first, really. I'm going to roll a fag and have a stirpy while we chat. Try and make it under 20 minutes because that's the idea of doing my thoughts, really. Excuse me. I think there's a lot of bullshit in the press and what have you. Everything has a sell-by date, meds and food in particular. So, what is the point in stockpiling? If we're stockpiling, what is the point? Because things are going to be running out anyway. So I don't really believe we're doing it. Yet again, there's a lot of falseness in the press and all the rest of it. I did see a photograph a while ago, probably a year ago, maybe even more. And it said how ridiculous that we're stockpiling all these meds. And there was a warehouse. When you looked at the picture, it was an Amazon warehouse. You know, full of Amazon boxes. There were bloody dresses and nighties and shoes and CDs. We're not stockpiling bloody shoes and nighties. What a load of bollocks. Yeah, stockpiling of stuff. Stuff will run out of date eventually, so I don't really believe that we're doing it. I don't believe we are, and if we are, it's ridiculous, because what are we going to do when things run out? You know, I think Brexit, I've always said we will never ever really leave the EU, not really, and I don't think Brexit will ever happen. I've said that all the way along, right from the outset. Personally, I've got no problems whether we stay or leave. It doesn't affect my life. I don't see it affecting anybody's life, really, and actually it's none of my business. I didn't vote for it. I didn't vote to leave, I didn't vote to stay, so I've got no real say in it. I couldn't give a shit. I really couldn't give a shit. I think there's bigger fish to fry than thinking about Brexit. It's like a game that the bloody politicians are playing. If you really look at Brexit, there's safety in numbers. So I think we should stay in the EU. It's working as it is. We're trading correctly, making some money. People moan about it, you know, say, oh, it's costing 85 million a day. Yeah, but what about the subsidies that we get? What about the rebate that Margaret Thatcher worked out that we get? What about the huge farming subsidies and the fishing subsidies and all the rest of it? We get so much back. You know, it costs us 85 million a day. Not really, because we've got rebate and all the rest of it. But we get 100 and something million back in rebates and all the rest of it. So it doesn't cost us too much. It probably costs us too much, but it don't cost too much to belong to the EU. And I believe there's safety in numbers. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know. I got no problem being in the EU. I got no problem being out of the EU either. So whichever way it goes, if it goes, I don't think Brexit will ever happen, but if it goes that way, then I think, yeah, cool, whatever. If you really, really look at it, the politicians don't want out. The royal family don't want out. Big corporations, big industries, big businesses don't want out. We won't go out, will we? Brexit will never, ever happen. They may prove me wrong. They may do, but is it 2 years or 3 years since God knows how many people voted out and they're still fucking about? Tells its own story there, doesn't it, mate, really? So I don't believe anything much will change. And just look at what they've done. They put a clown in as the MP, a fool guy. What will happen now? He won't go out, you know, he won't get us out. He says he's going to get us out, but he won't. And what they'll do, they'll call for a general election, so they'll sling him out and he'll be another one. So you've got rid of wanky moon-faced David Cameron, you've got rid of Margaret Thatcher's dead body, Theresa May, and now you've got a clown in there, the mini Trump, Boris Johnson. 3 idiots in a row. And they're put in there purposely. Everything's for a reason. They were put in there purposely. They are the fall guys. That's all they are, you know. So my thoughts on Brexit. Do you know what? Don't worry about it. We're not in control anyway, are we? I mean, that's proved. Would you like a vote on Brexit? Yes or no? Yes, please. Okay, here's your vote. What did you vote? I voted out. Okay, shall we go out? Well, no, let's fuck about for years and years and years. Maybe people will forget. You know, that's what people voted for. They thought their vote mattered. I've said for years your vote doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter. Don't vote. Don't play their game. Simple as. So my thoughts on Brexit are simply that. I don't think Brexit will impact on my life in any way. Whether we stay in the EU, whether we leave the EU, I can't see it impacting in my life in any way. And as for stockpiling of anything, especially food that's going to go off, even a tin of beans expires in the end of 2020. So what are they going to do? You know, I mean, if they started stockpiling today, in another 2 years, we still won't have left. And all that food will be rotten, so you sling it away and start stockpiling again. I can't see it. I can't see it. Maybe they are. I mean, they must be very stupid and very bloody deluded if they are. Because Brexit isn't happening, is it? Clearly. You know, I don't know. I just see that everybody's got something to say about it, about Brexit. And then I say, how would it impact your life? Does it matter to you, really, if we stay or leave? And a lot of people say, oh yeah, of course it does. We got to leave so we can keep the pound. Well, we're keeping it anyway. Or we got to leave so that we're, you know, England is separate. Well, we are very separate, aren't we, really, you know? Yes, we got their laws and their rules and we're governed by them to a degree. You know, but it's still, if you really look around this country, we're still very English, aren't we, in this country? Very much, you know, come and go, please yourself, do whatever you do. And I suppose if you look at if you look at the good things that EU have done, you know, they've kept the bank holidays, for instance, you know. By coming out of the EU, we would probably lose a lot of the bank holidays. Because there's nothing in law to say that we've got to keep these bank holidays. That's just one thing, really. There's also the minimum wage, and there's also lots and lots and lots. If you look at the good things about being in the EU, there's many, and there's many that people don't bother speaking about, you know. So ultimately, to sum it up, probably what's your thoughts on Brexit? My thoughts on Brexit is bollocks. Because it is. The whole lot is a charade. It's a lot of rubbish. Don't worry about it. Live your life. Cheers. I'll be back with another My Thoughts in a bit. Cheers. Take care and be well. Ta-ra then.